Hey guys, it's Mike with another Guild of Guardians free-to-play video, day 18. We're logging in here. We're going to pick up these 5 summoning stones, so that's exciting. It's a good way to start the day. Probably jump right in there and pull those before we start on our daily activities. So we'll jump in here. I don't know if we pulled any extras yesterday. Yeah, it's just those 5. So we're going to go ahead and summon those 5 and hopefully get something to start this day off on the right foot. We'd be looking for any of the champions that allow us to enlighten current champions. We still are looking for that Atticus. I'm trying to think who else we could really use at this point. But maybe they'll just surprise us with somebody. Anybody. So we'll see. We'll see. A Yalmar's not going to do it. That doesn't surprise me. Neither is a second Yalmar, but I guess it's better than a Zeticus. So we'll take 2 Yalmars. And we're going to get, what are we going to get? I think, oh, hey, okay. So we got Tybor, new to the account. We'll take a peek at his kit, see if he potentially would step in, probably for Palmera. But to be honest, I've never really played with him, so I don't know if his damage level is going to be to the same level or if he can be more survivable. But we will take a quick peek at his kit and see about potentially bringing him into the team. Because that could be a fun change up there in front with Tuskrog. So that is cool. We got our Guardians here. I did want to take a quick peek. At this point, we've got Grizel, 2 Inaras, 2 Thorits, Oxalis, Ashwin, and Tybor. The only legendary we have not pulled outside of Tamamo that's in the game is Atticus. So as a free-to-play player, day 18, we've basically pulled almost every legendary, which I think is super fun. And then we also had the ability to enlighten a couple of them. So that's pretty cool. I do really appreciate that about this game. So let's take a quick peek at what this Badger can do. We're going to go into his skills. His first skill is a single target, rending strikes. Tybor becomes immune to control while performing 5 hacking attacks on an enemy, dealing 110% attack as physical damage and causing knockback. So he's going to be doing some damage, 5 hacking attacks. So he's going to hit them 5 times and he's immune to any control while he's doing it. That seems pretty good. It is single target, so he's going to be kind of it's a little bit behind what Palmera does with the AoE ability, but we'll see. Tybor this is Body Slam. Tybor grapples an enemy and hurls them away, dealing 225% attack as physical damage and inflicting dizzy on them for 3 seconds. So this enemy is going to get dizzy for 3 seconds. This enemy is going to get knocked back. And then Reckless Abandon. Charge to the enemy with the highest combat power. Perform a rendering strike that deals 225% of attack as damage and taunts the enemy for 5 seconds. So then he's going to taunt this enemy. And this one's kind of interesting because he's going after the person with the highest combat power. So typically, like in Arena, that's going to be the Darizda in the back row picking your team off. So he's going to charge that character, do a pretty big attack, and you can get that even more powerful. And then have them taunt for 5 seconds. So that is actually a pretty cool ability, specifically in Arena as kind of a counter to some of those Darizdas. His passive is Resilient Constitution. Every 6 seconds, Tybor cleanses all poison effects on himself. If poison is cleansed, he recovers 10% HP. So this is a great way for him to make himself a little more survivable and keep himself alive. Also help out if you have a single target healer like Aquarius. He can kind of take care of himself, although that is assuming you're in a room where poison is a debuff that the enemy is casting on you. Which I think is pretty much the 3rd dungeon is where you're going to get poisons. So he is an interesting champ. I think that we'll give him a shot. What I will do is we'll run the first endless battle today with Palmera, and then we'll substitute him in, assuming we have gear. I'm going to check and see if we have enough gear to put on him or what gear set he actually uses. So right now that's not looking good. Okay, so he uses the same gear set as Palmera. So we can move the gear set from Palmera over to him and then bring him in to the second endless battle and see which way we do better. So I think that'd be a fun way to give him a shot and see if he's the right move moving forward, or if we hold on to Palmera. So I think we're gonna jump into it. We're gonna go through our crafting energies here. We're still working on gear sets, trying to get that tier 4 gear on all of our players. Let's see here, Tuskgrog is gonna need a chest here. And then I think we were working on Palmera. We have not got yet because they're using the same gear set and the bag gets hot. I can't do anymore. I think we were looking at Darizda. We got a weapon on her. So we'd like to get that to level 9 today and maybe move over to a pair of maybe attack boots, or we'll start building her defense and HP. Because she's in the back row, her defense and HP is a little less important. I'd rather get her attack high so that she's annihilating people from the back row. So we might try to get her a pair of boots today, and then Tuskgrog will get him a chest plate. So we'll get those two, and if we happen to get lucky, I think yesterday we made 8 pieces and they were all epic, so we could only fuse 2 of them into legendaries, but I think we do have 2 pieces of chest plate ready to fuse for Tuskgrog, so we only need 1 more and we'll be there. So hopefully we can get 3, maybe even 4 pieces if we get lucky today. That would be really nice, and we can start upgrading our team. And then we'll roll through and we will sweep the dungeons, all of the challenge 3s we can do, and then some of the challenge 2s until we have just a few energies left to try to progress the account. All right, so we got done crafting our gear. We did get almost 3 pieces, so we come into fuse here. We have 2 of the epic boots ready for Darizda and 1 of the epic boots ready for either Tuskgrog or Palmera. But we did get pretty lucky with one of the pieces here. This is a tier 4 chest plate, and it is matched to Tuskgrog here. Now, you notice again, we're talking about this 10% versus 12% or 15%. So this is a 10% piece, and you can see he's getting 77,000 HP from this chest plate. And that's on level 6. We also crafted this chest plate, which is a Terra, but it's 15%. She's getting 151,000 HP from this chest plate without any extra benefits of the 15% because it does not match her. Now, they both are Hydras, so I could put the other one on her, but she tends to be a little squishier than Tuskgrog. He's already a little tankier, so I'm going to do the lower HP on him and put the extra HP on her to make her even more survivable. We were also able to move her level from 101 to 107. We're trying to get her to 110. So I think that was some pretty big gains on both of those things. We did also get crit rating on both of those pieces, which I was pretty excited about. So that's going to be helpful in helping us crit and taking out those waves a little faster. So with that, we are going to jump into Endless with Palmera. We're going to run it through, and then we'll switch all of her gear over to Tybor and get him dialed in and run it again and see if we do better. But I have a feeling that we're going to stick with Palmera. But I could be surprised. I have not played with Tybor, so I am kind of excited to see how his kit plays out and how it changes our team dynamic here. All right, so we made it to room 30 barely. The last 2 days we've died in room 32. So this is fairly consistent performance from this team. I was hoping to do a little better today with the upgrades we've made, but that's going to be the end of that. So that'll give us a good bearing for when we bring Tybor in and whether or not we're pushing room 30 or not. So we made it to room 21. We died in room 21. We beat room 20. Tybor went down in room 18. Now it could have been he just caught a weird critical attack or something. I would have restarted, but I didn't even notice he went down. And so it was... But I do think that there's something to be said. The battles are going longer because he's not doing AoE damage. His crowd control is beneficial in thinning the herd, but usually there's 2, 3, or even 4 guys right there on the front line attacking Tuskgrog and either Tybor or Palmera. And killing them quickly is going to be probably a bigger benefit than crowd controlling them one at a time. So based on what I saw, I think that Palmera is definitely going to be the right move moving forward. But there could be merit for Tybor, specifically in this third in the Deadlands. Because in here, a lot of the curses you get include poisons. And that part of his kit where he, when he takes a poison or cleanses a poison, he gains 10% of his HP back, I think is going to be a big win in his survivability, specifically if you're running an Aquirus where you only have one healer. And so that could be something to consider. So I do think his biggest use case is probably going to be in that third dungeon because of Resilient Constitution. Every 6 seconds he cleanses poisons off of himself, and if he cleanses them, then he recovers 10% health, and that will move up as you increase his power. So that will definitely help aid in keeping him alive. I did want to take a quick peek because we literally moved the same exact gears off of Palmera and onto him. So his HP is at 331, attacks 23 and 15, 284. I'm going to switch it all back and see where we're at. So with Palmera, with all of her gear and stuff back on, she's at 287. Her HP is up at 313. And then attack and defense 24 and 16. She does have 2 enlightenment levels over Tybor, so it's not exactly comparing apples to apples, but for our team at this point in time, she's definitely the better fit. We're actually going to jump into the rewards here because we got a 10 pack of summoning stones, so maybe we'll grab that and see if we get anything else that's exciting for us. Seeing how we're doing it. So we'll jump here in the summons. We also picked up a 5 pack for progress somewhere, and then the daily, but we'll go ahead and summon these guys. I have been actually running short on rubies, so I've been going through looking for those question marks, trying to click any question mark I can find. Whoops. All right. Well, hey, we got a Lixus, we got a Palmera, and we got an Ashwin. So that is pretty cool. And an Aquirus. All right. So we got quite a few characters right there. Maybe that's the way to go, is we just skip it every time. It's very anticlimactic, but it came in all at once. So that was pretty fun. Let's go ahead and pull 7 more and see if we, that was actually a really good pull. Unfortunately, it all came out at the same time. It was like drinking out of a fire hose. So, we got a Kubo. So I'm not sure where we're at with enlightenment on Palmera. I think we do need another copy of her, but I think we need soul stones as well. But that would be a great win to be able to enlighten her even again. On Aquirus, if we do go back to Aquirus over Flix, it would be good to have that extra copy of her for enlightenment as well. I'd really like to pull an extra Flix so we can enlighten her, because I think that getting her HP up is going to make her even more effective than she is now. Inside the Endless Shop, her necklace is available right now, where it has HP stats and her excess healing. Hey, we will take that. We might be able to enlighten Durizda again. That's a huge win. We yeah, all day. This is a good little summoning session we got going, putting together here. Now you can also get defense and you can also get attack on that Flix's necklace. But if you can get that extra HP, that's gonna be a huge win. And then her extra healings turn into a shield on one of the substats. So that could be a big win. I think at this point, the Durizda's crossbow should be coming back to the market. Is that a kiss? Way to finish out the day. Durizda's crossbow should be coming back to the market either tomorrow or Tuesday, I think, based on what I was reading. So I think I'm gonna save up. I have the endless tokens available to purchase an item in the Epic. I've got 4,300. So when Durizda's crossbow comes back, I think I'm gonna pick that up. But Flix's necklace will be available for the next 16 days, so that might be something to work on as well. But hopefully we can get attack stat with that crit rate on Durizda's crossbow, and then that'll basically supercharge our Durizda and make her a lot more effective, specifically with that extra crit rate. Like attack we can get in with the boots and with the weapon, but with that extra crit rate, I think it's 30% is quite a bit. And so that would be extremely helpful if we could do that. But let's take a peek at our Guardians here and see where we're at with enlightenments. So we do now have a copy of Palmera. We do need a lot. We need 1,200 soul stones to be able to enlighten her again. Darizda, we can enlighten again, so that's awesome. So we'll go ahead and grab that and we'll go ahead and enlighten her. That's a big win. So now she's 6-star and she's going to grab these extra stats here, 20k HP, another 4,000 attack. So that's a big win there. A little more durability on the defense, and then we can actually enlighten her again. So that is a double win there. So she's up to 7 stars. And we're just stacking that attack up. Look, another 1,300. I think last time we got 4,000. So that's kind of unfortunate. We hope we went down a little bit. But we did get some HP and some more defense. So we will take it. And if we had another copy of her, we would be able to enlighten her again, which would be huge. So on the inventory status for fragments, we are stacking them up. We could do a Qatari. We've got 30, almost 30 of the Darizda fragments already, and we just converted one, I think 2 or 3 days ago. So they're stacking up quickly. We're coming up on Palmera. We've got a Corvus. We've got Shauna. So we have these characters available in here. Also another Aquirus. So that's looking pretty good. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to jump into Rush and Arena and then see if we can press the account on in Adventure mode. All right, so here we are in Rush. We are setting a new record. I think it's only a couple thousand over where we were before, but we are gaining on it. Every time we set a new record, we're getting a little better. It's just reassurance we're moving in the right direction. Did have some good gains today with a couple new pieces of tier 4 gear, as well as the double enlightenment on Darizda, which came out of nowhere. So that was pretty fun. But that is a great sign that we are moving in a positive direction there with setting new records on the Rush boss. We'll jump into Arena and check out what our overall power ranking is. If I remember correctly, yesterday we were at 1130, something like that. And so hopefully at this point we're at 1260. So we went up another 130,000 overall power for our team. So that's a big win there. And we're just gaining on it every day. We're just adding a little bit to it. I think the improvements that we're getting at this point are fairly incremental. We're going to try this just in case, because if we can beat this, we're going to get an extra 100 arena tokens. But the gains that we have at this point are pretty incremental, but they do add up. So if you just keep plugging away over time, you do have a good chance of getting your team more and more powerful. You get to a point where you can be more competitive in arena. You can get, hopefully on top of some of those leaderboards, start earning some GoG tokens. And I think we're going to get this. So this team was outperformed or had a higher overall power ranking than we did. They also had a Darizda, but we were able to squeak it out. So that is a big win for us. We get 100 extra arena tokens because we completed all 5 of those battles. And so that's cool. We should actually be able to complete all 5 of these as well. So we'll give this a shot. All right. So we were able to defeat all 5 of those rooms. Got another 100 arena tokens there. And then it did qualify us for this reward as well, hitting 2,000 points. I think this is the first time we've been able to do that. So get another 200 rubies and 300 arena tokens. So that was a big win there. We're going to jump into our champions and just top off all our materials for upgrading gear, upgrading scrolls, and then we're going to jump into adventure mode and press the account further. All right, so we're going to head into the Deadlands here. We got all topped off with all the resources that we've got. We're going to try challenge 2 here and try to press on there. We're going to try challenge 1 here if we're successful with challenge 2. And then we're also going to jump into here and take on this first battle. So if we can win 1 or 2 of those, that would be a big win for the day. And I will bring you back in, hopefully on that last room when we're wrapping things up. All right, we are moving into that final room. We did get this guy here, which is the 50%, and they recover 20% health and invincibility for 5 seconds. So that is pretty unfortunate. But we do have all 5 of our characters, fairly good health. So we should be able to, we've been moving through these rooms pretty easily. The last one, there was a lot of healing going on, and so the fight went a lot longer than it probably should have. And that's why we took a little damage up front with Tuskrog and Palmera. But hopefully we can blow through this really quickly and not give them the chance to do a lot of damage to us. So we'll give this a shot, see how it goes. Starting off with AoE is huge. We got some stuns out there, buy us some time. Palmera's coming in with her AoE, hopefully wipes out a few of those enemies. We still have 4 of them going on. They have the immunity for 5 seconds, so that's going to be a little rough. There we go. We got some stuns coming back out there. Hopefully Durizda can start to get through some of these people. Their healing is so good. It's so good. This guy right back here just does a lot of work healing up the targets. So we're going to restart this, try a different lineup. Maybe it makes a difference. It looks like they have us. I don't know there's a lot we can really do here. I think that invincibility is what's going to get us. The fact that they're invincible for that 5 seconds, it's just an eternity while you're battling. All right, we're going to try this formation here. Move Flicks up front to take a little bit of the damage off of these guys, buy them some time to get to cycle their abilities, and then Durizda also full health up there as well. They will probably get hit pretty hard right away, but that's why they're there, is to avoid that from hitting Tuskrog and Palmera right away. So hopefully we can get time to get to our heals and get the team moving. But that 5 seconds is going to be a pretty big obstacle to overcome. But hopefully we got some stuns out there. I don't know if we're doing better or not. It's now, yeah, Flicks is down and out. We do have our damage dealers still, sort of. I don't think we're going to get it. They're just, that heals that they got going on in there is too good. If we were to get a different curse, that may make the big difference. But I think for today, we're going to call that good, and we'll come back at that one tomorrow. But we will press on into the next dungeon, which is Scale Sanctuary. And we will take on this first room. It should be a total of 10 rooms. All right, we're heading into that final fight. This is the occasional reflection of physical damage, which is pretty bad for us, but it is better than 5 seconds of immunity. So I will take that one. We did pick up a rune where every time we kill an enemy, the person that kills the enemy actually gains 25% health back. So with Palmera doing damage, Tuskrog doing damage, and Durizda doing damage, they have been able to keep themselves topped off, plus Flicks on top of that. So that was a really fortunate rune for us, with our damage dealers being kind of up front. Tuskrog's not really a damage dealer, but it does do a lot of work, and he does kill a lot of enemies. So it's been able to keep him topped off. There's your physical reflection on Palmera. It basically took her out. But I think she did enough work before she died to carry us through this. We still got Durizda back there sniping people, so I think we call that one a wrap. So we found some progress in the game today. We did not do a new high level in Endless. We did press on in Adventure, and we did get a slightly higher score in Rush. But we definitely did some gains with Durizda getting enlightened twice. We got another couple pieces of gear, so we are moving in the right direction. But I think that's what I got for you on the free-to-play day 18 that we're on right now. So it's pretty exciting. I appreciate you spending the time with me. We are all the way over 100 subscribers at this point, and we are moving towards that 500 every day. So I do appreciate the support. It means the world to me. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. And I look forward to seeing you next time.